Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with a controversial view of Blink Twice. Are you having a good time? I'm having a great time. Blink Twice is a 2024 horror film directed by Zoe Kravitz, and she also co-wrote the movie. She actually started writing it in 2017, and if you're good at deciphering things, then you can probably put two and two together. I say that because I do not want to spoil this movie, although the big controversy lies in the subject matter. I guess you should expect slight spoilers in this video, because without them, it's almost impossible to talk about the film. And for those of you somehow unaware, Zoe Kravitz, an actress herself, is the daughter of Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz. Her original title for Blink Twice was much different. She intended on keeping it for the release, but received a lot of pushback. There was negative reception from the MPAA, cinemas, and even women in general. That's because her original title was Pussycat Island, minus the word cat. Considering what this movie is about, it was a fitting title. In the end, though, she decided not to push it. After all, this was her directorial debut. There's a disclaimer before the movie begins. A literal trigger warning. The inclusion of that itself is controversial. Naomi Aki is a struggling waitress, along with her friend, Alia Shawkat. While working at a function, they meet a billionaire named Slater, played by Channing Tatum. Slater owns his own island, where he likes to spend time with his good friends. He also invites the ladies to join him. They willingly accept. After all, he's a good-looking billionaire in their eyes, and probably most women. Slater's friends are played by Christian Slater, Simon Rex, and even Haley Joel Osment. Kyle MacLachlan plays his therapist, and Gina Davis plays Slater's assistant. Once you realize where the plot is headed, you have a better understanding of who Slater represents and who Gina Davis's character represents. I'm trying to be cryptic here, guys, so I don't spoil it. I'm sure there are plenty of you who already understand. Typically, Jason and I use these controversial view videos to discuss controversies others may not be willing to. But in this case, we do not want to spoil the movie. So I guess you could call this a cryptic controversial view. Yes, the subject matter is controversial, as is the original title. The trigger warning was a controversial inclusion in Blink Twice. But for me personally, and a lot of others based on reviews and messages I've seen on message boards, the biggest controversy, I think, is how Zoe Kravitz handled this storyline. It's pretty clear what she's trying to highlight in the film. But as co-writer and director, she seems to also be placing her own personal narrative on the script. Of course, as the filmmaker, that is her prerogative. But I and others question if that was the right choice. There's a very important story to be told here, and she came very close to telling it. But then, like many other films written around the same time as this one, the story took a backseat to a separate agenda. It's evident that Blink Twice was written during a time when filmmakers prioritized message over movie. This really could have been something special, and I mean really special. Now, don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I still love this film. The problem I have with it is the deeper meaning was pushed aside for a different message. It's as if Kravitz went a step or even a few steps too far. She played it too safe in some ways. I guess the best way to describe it without spoiling it is she took the actual villain and generalized it. But then, on the other hand, she got too specific with the victims. I truly feel she let her own personal biases dictate the film. All filmmakers do it to some extent, but this was too much. There are things that distract and detract from the movie. And while I do like it, the ending itself is hypocritical. It seems Kravitz went for an appeasing conclusion rather than a realistic one. That's fine. Blink Twice is a work of fiction, although many of us know it's inspired by true events. The ending, in my opinion, though, does contradict the concept. It's an example of self-indulgent satisfaction. I'll repeat, I do still love this movie. Jason and I are filming these videos early, but by the time you see them, you will have also seen our 2024 horror ranking stream. Chances are we both will have ranked this very high, but that in result is what makes this movie so controversial for me. It's a quality film, and I love the concept it tackles, but it's also a case of the filmmaker straying too far from what it probably should have been. And I do wonder if that's a big reason why this didn't achieve the success it would have deserved. In the end, however, ironically, people might just forget. Ultimately, it is her movie, though, and Jason and I watched it, so you don't have to. This is just my controversial view. Please be sure to check out Jason's as well. Have you seen Blink Twice? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. Which controversial movie or TV show will we discuss next? Check back soon to find out. Until then, remember, physical media matters. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and, be kind, subscribe.